Okay, so imagine that you're doing extremely well in a particular sport, class, job, and anything else. You're getting good reputation, everyone was trusting you, and you've been getting good grades. And also imagine that one day that performance declines, and then you also realize that reputation is going down. Personally, I define reputation as the opinion and beliefs that other people have towards me or like you. And although we often hear that life has many ups and downs, I think we all agree that it's difficult to accept some of our failures. With that being said, I want to talk about the importance of knowing yourself. And I saw I knew myself pretty well. I know that I like playing soccer. I know that when there is time, I prefer to, well, spend my time with my friends, text people, talk with people. I also know that I get very, very sleepy and tired after lunch. All the classes that I have after lunch, I was almost every time fighting against sleepiness. However, um, I actually found out that I was not knowing myself that well. And I want to talk about my experience as a soccer player, where I experienced being a starter in the A team and then dropping all the way down into B team. That experience made me realize I was still immature and didn't know myself that much. First of all, being a starter in a soccer team or in sports in general, it's one of those very honorable, great opportunities. You realize that all your hard work has been paid off and your coaches have realized it. Personally, I felt really confident personally as a player who plays in the center and also in the side. I was constantly running up and down the field, giving instructions to my teammates, controlling the game, and I felt like I was doing my job. But then one day you play in a game, and I clearly remember that that game was a very rainy day, and my performance wasn't one of those best times ever. My body was very heavy, and all the small mistakes that I made in that game gave me a lot of pressure. And then you realize that game, your team lost, and it wasn't one of your best games. And even more worse, what happened was the day after that game, we had a practice, and then I realized that my name was called in more of the B team side. Often my coach at that time preferred to separate between an A team member and a B team member, and I found myself that I was more in the B team side. First of all, being a B team member isn't a bad thing because it's an opportunity for you to be humble, to be hungry, and also in general, it's a time for you to get that enough experience so that you can go back into A team or go up to A team. But for me at that time, I had my reputation and I saw my reputation was very high. So I was very embarrassed and stressed. And even more, I really, really wanted to take back my position. So after that, I was really focusing on trying to improve on what I couldn't do on that rainy day game. I constantly asked myself to run more. I constantly asked myself to be more aggressive, be more powerful. And I worked really, really hard. But still, then I still realized that my reputation hasn't changed. And I was still in that kind of B team position. Time was only flowing. As that continued for a couple of months and so, I had a conversation with my soccer coach. I took that time as an opportunity for me to ask him a simple question. Why haven't I been part of A team for such a long time? And for me, that was a very, very important opportunity. It was a moment of realization for me. It was an epiphany, which also means a moment of realization. I realized that I was very, very busy focusing on my weaknesses. I wasn't even, I had zero attention on my strengths and I had zero attention on trying to show what I can do as a soccer player that is unique from others. Simply, I was overthinking. My brain was packed with a bunch of checklists of all the stuff that I had to improve. At that time, I was very stressful because I wasn't showing. I wasn't showing my full. At that time, I was very stressful because I was not capable of overcoming my weaknesses. However, if I were to be stressful at that time, I should have been stressful because I wasn't showing my full potential, my own unique character in the field. And after I had that moment of realization, soccer started to feel very fun and very enjoyable. My mindset was very clear. I knew what I needed to do. I had a simple mindset, and overall, I felt relaxed. And that small change in the way I approached to sports and into soccer, that was the key turning point for me to get back my position as I wanted to be, a starter and a player in the A team. And from that time, when I had a conversation with my coach, I realized myself and I was able to know myself even more. I mean, I realized that I am a person who overthinks when stuff doesn't go into the right direction. And in the future, I have to be careful about that. But at the same time, it was also a time for me to appreciate how much I dedicate and think a lot into one thing. So, my final message is it is very difficult to know about yourself. But if you keep working hard and if you simply keep moving forward, I think you will find an opportunity where you will realize something. An opportunity where you'll be able to know yourself even more, and an opportunity that you will be able to appreciate your own character. Overall, the talks I've made right now has been very simple, and it might sound very cliche, but at that time when I was being dropped into B team for a couple of months, my mindset wasn't simple, and I learned a lot how much it's important to have a simple mindset and keep moving forward. Thank you very much.